Chapter 20. Back at home, Angelica poured herself a tall glass of cranberry juice. She had been told it was good for the body when she was pregnant with Tommy, and she'd not stopped drinking it since. She sat on the balcony, looking out to the hills and mountains that surrounded Javier, giving the place its own microclimate. While surveying the hills, she recalled the night before. With the distance of a good night's sleep between her and the upset, she was able to think about it with a much better balance to her emotions. She was thinking about it in the same way that Javi Jones, or her brother, the detective Augustine Boyle, would think about it. She was thinking about it strategically. She considered it as a crime scene. Angelica looked down at her long legs, brushed them with her hand as she thought. There was something comforting about this for her. She thought about the timeline of the death of Georgina Natchez. She must have arrived at some time before Angelica first spotted her. Most of the guests were there when Angelica arrived, so she assumed that Georgina was one of these. That meant Georgina had got to Carla Clement's before 8. Angelica realised at this point in time that she hadn't made a note of the time when she'd seen Georgina dead. Angelica worked out in her head that it must have been between 9 and 10, closer to 10. So that meant Georgina was possibly mingling at the party for more up to 2 hours before she landed on the sofa with the man she was kissing. Angelica guessed that the CCTV images from the masked Valentine's ball would be fairly useless. Georgina wore a red dress that night before along with a mask. This was the same outfit as a good 80% of the women there. Angelica rubbed her legs and thought about the heels she'd worn the night before. It hurt her calves, and she winced when she thought about it. In Angelica's mind, she could see the couple on the sofa making out. The man was moving his head and hands only. There was little, if any, movement at all from his body. At the time it hadn't struck her as odd, but looking back, she could see a man who wasn't totally at ease with what he was doing. He kissed her with his lips. Most men kissed with their whole body. That was the way it should be. Angelica calculated that she was in the queue for the loo and then in the loo for a total of around 10 minutes. For the last 5 of those minutes, she wasn't aware of what was happening to Georgina. She had switched off when she neared the front of the queue. Then she was inside the toilets. When she returned from the loos, the queue had disappeared. There was nobody left queuing. Goes to stand that there were no witnesses. If it was the man, then he wouldn't kill in front of a queue of witnesses. When the coast was clear, he performed his evil deed and then disappeared into the night, probably away before the alarm was raised and the doors were sealed. She tried to recall the way the guy looked. He reminded her of the man Delia followed. But it couldn't have been him, could it? Delia went in one direction. Angelica saw the man who might be the killer in the opposite direction. She rubbed her leg again, soothing the pain in her calf, when 2 things came back to her. Firstly, one of the women filmed the kissing on the sofa on her mobile phone, presumably to show friends what others got up to at the Valentine's masked ball. Secondly, through the tan on Georgina's legs, which she initially thought was natural, there were bruises. The fake tan wasn't just to make her legs look more bronzed. It had also been applied to hide something. As she explored the meaning of this, her phone rang. The caller display said Javi Jones. It was time for that coffee.